The Red Cross responds to nearly 66,000 disasters every year, most of them house fires. Red Cross President and CEO Gail McGovern says you need to develop an evacuation plan and practice it, especially with your children. It takes just 2 minutes for a home to be engulfed in flames.
Practice those drills. We all think our kids know what to do. They don't. We need to teach them. We have started a large campaign where we're going into vulnerable communities and helping install smoke alarms. Already 92 lives were saved, and 4 of those lives were saved by a 5-year-old girl who remembered what we taught them during these fire drills, and she got her family out. We also have a slew of free apps that people can download onto their smartphones. It's what to do in every kind of disaster you can imagine, how to prepare and how to recover.
To help support all the Red Cross does and to make a financial donation, go to redcross.org. That's redcross.org.
See that cute little dog in the pet store window? Chances are it came from a puppy mill. A breeding facility that forces caged, neglected, and often sick dogs to churn out puppy after puppy to be sold for profit. Meanwhile, millions of wonderful, healthy pets end up in animal shelters. This leads to the killing of more than 9,000 by the end of today. But with one simple choice, you can help. Just by deciding to adopt instead of purchase your next pet. Animal shelters are full of amazing pets looking for a home. When you adopt your new best friend, not only are you saving a life, you're taking a stand against puppy mills. When your friends see the smart choice and impact you've made, they adopt their next pet and share with 5 of their friends, who share with 5 more. Before long, thousands get involved. Pet stores stop selling dogs from puppy mills, and even more lives are saved. And with your help, we can save them all. Visit bestfriends.org/puppymills to learn more.
It's Thursday night, and you're grabbing drinks with some friends. Started off with a pitcher for the table, which quickly becomes 2. There's pool. And there's the photo booth.
All right, everybody squeeze in. Say cheese!
Followed naturally by an order of wings. And another.
Can we get some extra ranch sauce?
Then there's the ceremonial nightcap.
So what are we doing this weekend?
And lastly, it's back to the car, which, if you're buzzed, could be the most expensive night of your life. Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Jeremy Schaap. You may know me from ESPN's Outside the Lines and Sports Center. What you probably don't know is that I've suffered from Crohn's disease for almost 20 years. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation of America's Take Steps, Be Heard walk program is the largest national walk program dedicated to raising funds and awareness to combat Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis. To learn more about how you can help and to find a walk site near you, please visit www.cctakesteps.org.
Think fast. In the short time it takes to listen to this message, a small flame can turn into a big fire. Several minutes more, and thick, poisonous smoke may have filled your lungs and reduced your ability to respond. Give it 5, and your entire home may be filled with flames.
Keep breathing. We've got you.
Don't let your world go up in smoke. Have working smoke alarms and practice an escape plan for you and your loved ones. Learn more at usfa.fema.gov, because fire is everyone's fight.
Have you mixed your pain meds, your sleep meds, your allergy meds? Call the Poison Helpline. Has your child eaten a tube of toothpaste, a chip of paint, a wild mushroom? Call the Poison Helpline. Have you been bitten by a spider, a snake, an insect? Call the Poison Helpline. Poisonings can happen at the home, on the job, or in the great outdoors. Call the Poison Helpline first for fast, free advice from medical professionals. Call 1-800-222-1222 anytime, anywhere. 1-800-222-1222. Save the number, save a life. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps demonstrate their commitment to defend the American way of life. Since 1775, we have served our nation as a force in readiness. From combat operations to humanitarian assistance in every corner of the world. No matter where the mission takes us today, or wherever our country needs us tomorrow, we always remember the land we call home. As Marines, we take a stand for each other, for our nation, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Hi, I'm Hillary Duff. As a mom, I'm proud to support the March of Dimes in helping more women have full-term pregnancies and healthy babies. That's why I walk in March for Babies. The money we raise funds research and local programs that help babies overcome the challenges of premature birth and birth defects. Sign up today at marchforbabies.org. Together, we can help make healthier babies possible for thousands of families.
The following program is closed captioned for the thinking impaired.
Zinc Media. Feel the power of knowledge.
Studio located somewhere within the great granite state of New Hampshire is Rod Eccles.
And a good Monday morning to you, one and all. Welcome back. Here we are on this Monday, June number 12 in the year of our Lord 2017. Yes, Monday. Good grief. Weekend went by pretty fast. I hope you had a good weekend. I did a lot of interesting things over the weekend. It was I can't get into detail. Privacy, don't you know? Privacy. In any case, welcome one and all of you liberty lovers and ecclesiastites from all across the globe. Yes, it is I. The call-in number this morning is 603-835-3226. That is what the number shall be throughout the remainder of the program this morning, should you wish to utilize that number. Now, this morning we will catch up from last Friday. I promised to play you Rant of the Week because the time got away from me last week. Now speaking of time, there are days that you know, when you're hypersensitive to stuff, and maybe you're not hypersensitive. You just notice something. And this morning, as I'm doing my show prep, and I'm looking at a show time clock, I could have sworn, I wasn't even thinking of this, but I could have sworn time skipped a second. I kid you, I'm thinking, did I just see that? And over the weekend, I saw some stuff that, folks, you will not believe. I mean, I knew that there were flat Earth societies. Still, there are people that still believe that there is flat Earth, but you want to. Some people, I guess, it's not comedy, but I'm looking at this. It's on YouTube. Stuff is all. I mean, if you want to get lost for a couple of hours on YouTube, just YouTube Google a flat Earth. I mean, I was cracking up over some of this stuff. But when you start reading some of the comments, you read that this stuff is not comedy. And then you start to realize that a lot of those people, most of the stuff is in English, so a lot of those people are in the US of A. And a lot of those people vote. Some of the absolute inane reasons that they've come up with to remain flat earthers, it made me realize that, there are people that no matter what the proof is, No matter what the visual proof is, no matter what the scientific proof is, no matter what the legal proof is, they're going to believe that the earth is flat. And this is also true of anti-Trumpers. All the people that don't want. I mean, there's one lady right now who calls herself a conservative on Twitter, and she's having a spat with me over Trump. I'm like, lady, you're not a conservative. Everything that you're spouting right now against Trump is not conservative values. That's a good old moderate position. Now, see, these people, no matter what the evidence, Comey lied. Well, Comey didn't lie. What did he lie about? Well, he leaked something. Well, he didn't leak anything. He admitted he leaked something. Well, he still didn't leak anything. The man who leaked something admitted he leaked something. And you're trying to tell me that he didn't leak something that he admitted he leaked? So if he didn't leak it, but he said he leaked it, then he lied. So no matter what the evidence is, no matter what the proof is, the visual, the legal, the scientific proof is, these people are always going to dislike Donald Trump simply because he's Donald Trump. Because if you've got people out there today that no matter what believe that the earth, literally, this is not a joke. These people are dead serious about the earth being flat. That no matter what, I mean, God could come down from heaven himself, and you could see him come down from heaven, slap these people across the face, and say, grow up, Trump is my man. I anointed Trump just like I anointed David to be king of Israel. I anointed Trump to be president of the USA. And they would still hate Trump. It wouldn't matter. No, folks, I am not saying that Donald Trump has been anointed by God like King David of Israel of old. I'm just using that as an example. I mean, God forbid. I know somebody's going to say, Rod said that Trump was anointed. No, I did not. I said God could come down from the heavens above. And you could see it. You could see him coming down from the heavens above, put his hands on Trump and say, I've anointed him. And people would still not believe it, still hate him, and you still have a bunch of Democrats running around out there and liberals saying, impeach, impeach, impeach. They'd probably be saying, well, see, he's got an unfair advantage, and this is not right, so impeach him because God loves him. They would. They'd say something like that. But, folks, it was just kind of, just some downtime. I actually had, it was hot this weekend. I loved it. Yes, it was. And it was, last night was one of those nights where, well, there was a slight breeze, but it was a warm breeze. I mean, by the time I decided to come back to reality and do some pre-show prep, it was around 10 o'clock at night. And I came inside, because outside it was a lovely evening. It was it's still 78 degrees by the time I came in at 10 o'clock. I love those nights. It was beautiful. Very little humidity. I mean, it wasn't dry, but it was enough to make you comfortable. But today, I guess the humidity is going to be a little humid today. I'm as I understand. I haven't looked at the weather, but in any case, we do have this wonderful track of the rant of the week from Friday that we didn't get to. But, however, we're going to get it today. It's not as long as the previous one. It's only about 7 minutes. But it did sort of fit in with what we had going on, what I was discussing last week. We just sort of ran. I got to admit it. I forgot. I was looking at it. Said, press the play button. I didn't press the play button. Went on and just forgot about it. So here we are. Rant of the week that should have been played last Friday.
What was Obama thinking in his nomination of Kagan to be Supreme Court Justice? Oh, yeah, he wasn't thinking. And the Euro to the rescue. Good evening, my fellow Americans. This is the Rod Eccles Show. I am your lovable host, L. Rod. The number that you can call is 347-426-3404, or you can press 1 on your keypad if you're listening out there in the cloud universe. You'll be instantaneously transported to our switchboard where we will see you and put you on the air. Today is Monday, May 10th, in the year of our Lord of 2010. And we are moving right along into this in this year, this 10th year of the, well, actually, technically, this is only the 9th year of the new millennium. It isn't the 10th. I know a lot of you are saying, well, no, it's 2010. It's good. No, see, the 21st century didn't really technically officially start until January 1st, 2001. Now, here's a little lesson. You're probably saying, Rod, how is that possible? There's 100 years in a century. And I would say you're absolutely correct. Well, then we go from 1900 to 2000. That's 100 years. And I say again, you're absolutely correct. Well, then the year 2000 was the beginning of the new millennium, new century, and all that kind of jazz. And you would be absolutely incorrect. Why is that? Well, here's a little bit of lessonage for you. Lesson, as Bush would probably say, lessification. I'm about to give you a lessification. And this is important now. It's very important because the details do matter. Details do matter. What year did the first century start on? If you said year 1, you were correct. We didn't start on year 0. So in order to go from 1 to what in order to be 100? Year 1 to 100. So that means the second century started when? In the year 101, not in the year 100. The first century, by definition, cannot be 99 years. There is no cutoff, or there is no special date given to the first century. There's no special exemption for it. You got to go 100 years in order to have it, because century means 100. You got to go 100 years. So 1 to 100 is the first century. Year 101 is the beginning of the second century. Carry that all the way out to modern times. The year 2000, then, cannot be the beginning of the new millennium. It has to be 2001. Now, why does that even matter? Because details matter. You can't just throw something aside in order to make it fit. You can't twist something so bad in order to make it fit your own gratification, justification, any kind of occasion you want to think of. This goes true with our Constitution. And Obama just can't make and twist and say stuff just for his own edification. He can't do it. I mean, they are doing it, but it is going to lead to dire consequences simply because the details matter. The details matter. And it's, when you're kids, you always play, you always say that close. That was close. Close only counts in hand grenades and horseshoes and nuclear weapons, right? Remember that when you were kids? Well, if you're a lot older, if you're a kid like before the 1950s, you probably didn't say nuclear weapons. You probably just said horseshoes and hand grenades. But remember, close does not get you a cigar. Close is not being accurate and detailed. Close does not count. Not even in horseshoes or hand grenades. You got to be on the money, on the mark. And I got to tell you, Obama is not on the mark, especially with this nomination of Kagan. I mean, well, what did you expect? What did you expect? Here's a guy that says that he doesn't use, modern technology such as iPods and iPads and all that kind of stuff, and he doesn't know how to use them. When back in the campaign, he specifically said that he had Michael Jackson on his iPod. And he liked to listen to Jay-Z and things. So was he lying then or is he lying now? And weren't they making fun of, like Obama, weren't they making fun that John McCain didn't know how to use or could not use a computer? Well, I think it's pretty bad and shameful if our president doesn't know how to use or doesn't use an iPod. I'm sure his daughters do. But see, a lot of people don't catch this guy on the details. Well, like I said, details matter.
You're listening to me, your lovable host, L-Rod, here on The Rod Eccles Show.
We've all heard of male enhancement, but now there's an expert on true male enhancement in the areas that really count. In Herb Ellis's book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, you'll find answers to questions like, why doesn't she want to have sex? A quick start, quick results workout guide. Plus, what you can do as a side hustle to make money now. With all the great tips in this book, every man can benefit. Get the book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, on Amazon.com.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-595-2614 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 595-2614 to take your call now. Call 800-595-2614. That's 800-595-2614. Again, 800-595-2614.
It started with a knock, but it wouldn't end there. What happens in the story next, many wouldn't understand, and most wouldn't believe. 5 + 2 = Perfection by Samuel Rosette Jr. is a must-read. The scriptures within are reminders of the ancient past, and yet intriguingly infuses with texts which stand on the edge of the stage of relevancy. Available online at Westbow Press, Amazon, Books A Million, Barnes & Noble, and SamuelRosetteJr.com.
And now a message from our sponsor. Ladies, tired of drying your hair with the same old vacuum cleaner? Try Avon Shave brand new Beauty Locks portable hair dryer. It's smaller, it's faster, it's guaranteed to give you the hair you've always wanted in half the time. Beauty Locks is delicate and dainty, just like you. The dryer weighs only a pound and easily fits in your hand. Now that's beauty and convenience. With a speedy motor that will dry your hair in as little as 25 minutes, you can get gorgeous hair without falling behind schedule. Don't worry about the little ones or that pie in the oven. Thanks to an extra-long extension cord, you can move around while primping your locks. Forget those long trips to the salon and no more waiting for hours under monster machines. Alvon Shea gives you an easy and speedy hairdo that will blow your man away. Get it now at your nearest Macy's.
You're listening to The Rod Eccles Show. Let truth be told.
603-835-3226. If you listened closely and during that rant from May of 2010, you'd heard some crinkling going on. Well, that was me unwrapping a cigar. See that? But now at that time, the program was on in the evening. It wasn't on the morning. It was on the evening. But part of the reason I bring you some of these old rants of the week is to show that I was right back then, just as I am right today. And I'm no different today than I was back then. So, I mean, everybody changes, Rod. Well, no, not really. I mean, as I've stated before, many times before, if anything, I've become more conservative as I get older and not less. And people don't understand how that's possible. You know how it's possible? It's possible for a person to be pushed that way. And some people might think, well, how is that possible? Well, there's the good old, how can you say, the good old, liberals do that. Liberals will push you farther to the right. If you pay attention to liberals, they will push you farther to the right. Because you'll get sick and tired of all their shenanigans. Yes, I said the word shenanigans. Now, over the weekend, I guess, out in L.A., was it L.A.? They, this is, we talked about it before, this is Gay Pride Month. Now, frankly, I have nothing against the gays, as some people would say. I have not, well... You know, I have nothing with the LBG. I have no problem with them. Now the T, the tranny part, I just don't understand them. I don't understand it at all. That, if anything, is still in my book a mental disorder. Literally, it is. But we have now. You have to understand. These are people that have been, so-called fighting for acceptance for decades. They've been fighting to be normalized, fighting to get gay marriage legalized. They've been fighting for their gay rights in the workplace. Fighting to be normalized, to be accepted. And this past weekend, because this is Gay Pride Month, they had their Gay Pride parade out in Los Angeles, Hollywood. Well, it wasn't exactly a Gay Pride parade. It was a resistance parade. Resist March is what they entitled it. Walking around with signs saying, we hate Trump and anybody who loves Trump, we hate you, and all that. Some of the pictures that came out of L.A. from this parade, the signs that you would have, really? Now, if you were going to go back to the point when you were fighting for gay marriage and you were giving us all this bullshit about being accepted and it being accepting and accepting everybody for who they are and loving people for who they are and don't hate on people because they can't control who they love or who they like and all this kind of crap, and then you come up with a parade. And your entire parade is simply about hating on one man. Well, I got to tell you something. You've done yourself a grave disservice. Not to mention, what was it? New York? We brought the story last week. Was it New York, where you had a gay pride group, Gays for Trump, that they wouldn't allow into the parade, and their boilerplate response even showed what hypocrites that the parade sponsors were for not allowing these Trump people in, these gay Trumpers. It's just unbelievable. Yes, folks, the details matter. And the details are that no matter how you look at it, whether they be so-called Republican anti-Trumpers or they be liberal anti-Trumpers, it doesn't matter. The details are that it is not just Donald Trump that these people hate. They hate the good old-fashioned, good old Judeo-Christian ethic that Donald Trump stands for. That is why they hate this man. Understand it. It isn't because he's Donald Trump and he's some sort of TV star. reality star. It's because he stands for good old-fashioned, constitutional, God-fearing ethics.
The Red Cross responds to nearly 66,000 disasters every year, most of them house fires. Red Cross President and CEO Gail McGovern says you need to develop an evacuation plan and practice it, especially with your children. It takes just 2 minutes for a home to be engulfed in flames.
Practice those drills. We all think our kids know what to do. They don't. We need to teach them. We have started a large campaign where we're going into vulnerable communities and helping install smoke alarms. Already 92 lives were saved, and 4 of those lives were saved by a 5-year-old girl who remembered what we taught them during these fire drills, and she got her family out. We also have a slew of free apps that people can download onto their smartphones. It's what to do in every kind of disaster you can imagine, how to prepare and how to recover.
To help support all the Red Cross does and to make a financial donation, go to redcross.org. That's redcross.org.
I'm just so happy my father had a chance to see his kids before he passed. I just want to say thank you.
When her father fell ill, the American Red Cross was able to help get Veronica's brother home from the Navy to speak to his father one last time. It's thanks to your donations that we can connect military families when they need it most. Please donate today at redcross.org.
It's Thursday night, and you're grabbing drinks with some friends. Started off with a pitcher for the table, which quickly becomes 2. There's pool. And there's the photo booth.
All right, everybody squeeze in. Say cheese!
Followed naturally by an order of wings. And another.
Can we get some extra ranch sauce?
Then there's the ceremonial nightcap.
So what are we doing this weekend?
And lastly, it's back to the car, which, if you're buzzed, could be the most expensive night of your life. Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps demonstrate their commitment to defend the American way of life. Since 1775, we have served our nation as a force in readiness. From combat operations to humanitarian assistance in every corner of the world. No matter where the mission takes us today, or wherever our country needs us tomorrow, we always remember the land we call home. As Marines, we take a stand for each other, for our nation, for us all, the few, the proud, the Marines.
I considered suicide so I wouldn't put my family through all the pain.
Many of our warriors are returning home from the battlefield, only to face a new war as they struggle with devastating injuries. At Wounded Warrior Project, we understand. We're there to help.
Even though you think you're broken, you're not. It's the physical and the emotional healing that Wounded Warrior Project provides.
With a gift of just $19 a month, you can join Wounded Warrior Project. You'll help provide critically needed programs and services that rebuild lives.
Beautiful. There you go, buddy.
The ongoing needs of our wounded and their families will continue for many years to come. Now is the time to show your support. Call now or go online with your gift of just $19 a month, and we'll send you this Wounded Warrior Project blanket.
It made me feel that there's people out there that care about us.
After this event, we can finally maybe start to heal as a family and move forward.
We need your help. The families are hurting.
For many of our wounded heroes, the greatest casualty is being forgotten. That's why your gift of just $19 a month is so important. Please call or go online right now.
And welcome back. Glad that you are here this Monday morning as we begin a busy, what promises to be a very, very busy week, broadcast week here. What was the, it's a holiday special, Christmas special. I think Santa Claus is coming to town, where the villain, said, I have to get busy. Well, DC is doesn't take a break. They're always busy. So, even though I do take a break, it's called the weekend. I don't. Well, I was still busy this weekend. So I guess I don't really take a complete break. Although I am expected to. Just to let you know, I'm expected to go. Planning on going on a mini vacation in July, after July 4th. I will be gone a couple of days. And most likely, now we're starting to, just to give you a heads up, we are starting to look into being able to change the program around where it's capable of having a guest host. Because right now, Spreaker does not make it very easy to do that. So we're trying to maneuver things so that, well, it's probably during the summer you're going to have a few times where there's going to be a best of show here, just to let you know. But in September and the fall, and September and October, things should be moving. The way they're moving now, they should be moved into the direction where we have a guest host when I can't be here. So you'll still be able to tune in and get some good stuff without having to go back in time. Although it is good to go back in time every once in a while to revisit some stuff. In any case, what has the weekend brought? Well, it has brought upon us that the liberals are scratching their heads, shaking their heads, and they're actually kind of livid. Now you might ask, well, why would the left is always livid? Yeah, well, except now they're really livid because there is this person down in D.C. She's a high-powered attorney in legal circles. She's a liberal attorney at that. She's liberal. Jamie Gorelick. Now people probably recognize the name. She is an attorney. She's become the attorney for Jared Kushner. Now, yes, those of you in the know recognize the name Jared Kushner because that is what Ivanka Trump's husband's name is. So should we call her Ivanka Trump Kushner? Yeah. Well, I understand professionally she's still, Ivanka Trump, but technically I think she's Ivanka Trump Kushner because, pretty solid Jew. You take the husband's name. That's just you gotta. That's just it's just the way it is. Now, I know there are women out there today that think, I don't have to take the husband's name, and they hyphenate. Now, can I digress for a second here? Now, I understand the arguments of some of these women. Why should I give up my identity? Well, you see, you're not the only one giving up your identity. As far as they're concerned, what their identity is, you're not the only one giving it up. So is your husband. Because, see, your identities were that you were two separate individual people. Now, in marriage, you're supposed to come together as one. So both of you have to give up a lot when you get married. You do. I don't care who you are. If you don't, then I don't think that marriage is going to last very long. And I wouldn't call it love. I don't know what the hell you'd call it if two people decide to become one, but they don't become one. They stay two. I mean, that doesn't make any sense. Again, the details matter. When you get married, you're supposed to become one cohesive unit because, when you're, isn't it always, you've always heard this or you've seen it on TV a lot, in different family shows and the kid says, kid goes to one parent and the parent says, well, they'll go to mom and mom will say no. And without conferring with her husband first, the kid will catch dad and say, Dad, can I? And then what does dad say? Dad will say, well, what'd your mother say? Because that's acting as one. That's not acting as two individuals. That's acting as one parental unit, if you will. Now, whether or not the parents agree with the decision that was made, they'll go behind closed doors and they'll discuss it. And if there needs to be a change, and they'll probably come to the kids together and say, okay, your mother and I discussed this, and we think that maybe we can let you do this, but here are the caveats, and they'll lay down the rules. That's being one. Those are the kind of families that stick together. Those are the kind of marriages that last. Now, it's no guarantee, that they'll last, but those are the kinds of marriages that tend to last. Is when two people come together. I mean, look, again, even if you don't believe in God, folks, the biblical references and the biblical facts and ideology about society are solid. And we do know for a fact that when you deviate from those things, society crumbles. Society being from a family unit all the way up to a community, all the way up to a nation. There's nothing wrong with having a professional name, if you want to call it that. But the reality is, when you get behind closed doors, you got to be one. If you're not, there's going to be all kinds of problems. And look, right now we are a nation divided. We really are. We did not come together as now. Even during Obama, well, you could say that Obama we were a nation divided. Yeah, we were, and that is because the person who was the president didn't try to unite us. In fact, he did the opposite. He tried his best to divide us even further. And this is what we get. We get 8 years of purposeful division that leaves us where we are today. I mean, the rift is wide. It is so wide that it does not matter what Donald Trump does or says. It does not matter how constitutional he may or may not be. It doesn't matter. That the rift is so wide that Donald Trump can do exactly what Barack Obama did, and the left absolutely loves Obama for it. But Donald Trump can do exactly the same thing. And they will hate him, deride him, accuse him of high crimes and saying he needs to be impeached. You don't believe me? Well, the stupid travel ban, which isn't even a Muslim ban. They call it a Muslim. They keep calling it a Muslim ban, and I ask over and over again, how is this a Muslim ban if only 6 out of about 50 nations worldwide are limited to coming to the United States, where we know that there is trouble, but the vast majority, 90% of Muslims around the world still get to come here? How is it a Muslim ban? Well, because Trump said so. Trump said, you're reaching for straws here. Details matter. Do you realize that Barack Obama did exactly the same thing that Trump is doing? Oh, well, he had a different reason. Well, does it matter what the reason is? This is why these people say, well, we have to ban this because Donald Trump said he wanted to ban Muslims from this country during his campaign. That's what he gave speeches about it. So we can't allow him to do that now. Does it really matter? It doesn't matter what he said during the campaign. The details are, how is this so-called ban written? Is it constitutional? Yes. That's the only thing that matters. And you're probably saying, well, Rod, his reasons for it, those are the details. No, that's not the details. The details are what is written in the order. That's the details. The meaning behind the details, well, that's actually pretty meaningless when it comes to law. You have to read the order and the law for what it is. You can't start surmising, because when you start surmising on your own, you start bringing in your own biases and prejudices, and you get things all screwed up that way. It's pretty damn clear what the order is. And look, these judges that have set it aside, that have put a halt on it, those are the reasons that they gave. Was because of what Trump said during the campaign trail. Not because of what the order says. Not because of what the actual order says. But because of what Trump said during the campaign. I mean, this is insane. And so now you have this Jamie Gorelick, a very prominent liberal D.C. inside the Beltway attorney. Well, evidently, she finds the need and desire to represent a member of the Trump family. And the liberals are going nuts. But you know, she's a pretty strong woman. She's like, so what? They'll get over it. Well, actually, Jamie, I think you should know better than anybody else that no, they won't get over it. Maybe she's starting to become a conservative because she sees all what the Democrats are doing and becoming. They're just total nut jobs. I mean, they all claim. Some of the things that I saw in the pictures from the Gay Pride Parade of L.A. I mean, this is just. Can you say hypocrite much? They have signs saying, resist Trump and Trump is this and Trump is that and hate Trump and all this kind of stuff. And then you in the same parade, in some of the same groups, you have people holding signs that are saying, diversity is diverse and diversity is acceptance and you got to accept diverse people and diverse beliefs and all this about being accepting. And yet, in the same parade, they're being unaccepting. Now, I'm not saying that being unaccepting is bad. I'm just saying, look, if you're not going to be accepting, then don't tout acceptance. Don't tout it. Don't lie about it. I mean, it's as bad as some people saying, well, Trump lied. Well, what did he lie about? Well, okay, then Comey lied. Well, Comey didn't lie. Well, yeah, he did. Either he lied about something or, but if he told the truth, then he did something illegal. Well, he didn't do anything illegal. Then he lied. I don't know what it is they can't accept the brain of. Well, let me just give you a quick synopsis. Comey admitted that he leaked. Yeah, he gave it to a friend to give it to the press. That's leaking. So if you're saying, well, Comey didn't leak anything, well, he told Congress or the Senate that he leaked it. So did he lie? Well, no, he didn't lie. Well, because he leaked it. Well, no, he didn't leak it. Then he lied. Look, it's pretty black and white. I know a lot of liberals try to make things, trying to make all this stuff gray. But no, it's pretty damn black and white. But see, here's a little dirty little secret with liberals. You know the old saying, have your cake and eat it too. Well, this is what they want. They want everything. And no matter what the logic or the truth is behind it, they will dismiss it and poo-poo it because they want it to be something different. They want Trump to be a liar. They want Trump to be a criminal. Now, I think that is pretty damn sad and pretty damn dangerous when you want your president to be a criminal. Simply so you can impeach him, so you think you can get somebody and say, well, folks, let me tell you something. When it comes to the presidency, if you get rid of Trump, you're going to get Pence. And let's face it, Pence is squeaky clean. And he's following the mantra of Trump to the letter, man. You're not going to win.
Hello, America. It's me, your history. I remember a time when we thumbed our nose in a king's face and sent him packing. And when fascists and emperors talked a little bit too loud, we showed up, tore their cities to the ground, and then rebuilt them just to prove we could. We put men on the moon, we won a Cold War, and we elected fearless leaders who led fearless people. What the hell happened to you, America? Back in my day, we didn't elect a big-eared community organizer. We punched him in the kidney. Maybe it's time you came home, America. Home where you belong.
We've all heard of male enhancement, but now there's an expert on true male enhancement in the areas that really count. In Herb Ellis's book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, you'll find answers to questions like, why doesn't she want to have sex? A quick start, quick results workout guide, plus what you can do as a side hustle to make money now. With all the great tips in this book, every man can benefit. Get the book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, on Amazon.com.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-595-2614 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 595-2614 to take your call now. Call 800-595-2614. That's 800-595-2614. Again, 800-595-2614.
It started with a knock, but it wouldn't end there. What happens in the story next, many wouldn't understand, and most wouldn't believe. 5 + 2 = Perfection by Samuel Rosette Jr. is a must-read. The scriptures within are reminders of the ancient past, and yet intriguingly infuses with texts which stand on the edge of the stage of relevancy. Available online at Westbow Press, Amazon, Books A Million, Barnes & Noble, and SamuelRosetteJr.com.
This is Free America broadcasting on the Rod Eccles Show with a message to all patriots trapped behind the lines in California, New York, Boston, and Chicago. Don't give up, true lovers of America. Even as we speak, moves are being made to drive the invaders back to the land from which they came, defeat the would-be dictators, and lift the chains of tyranny from around your neck. Stay strong. Stay brave. You're not forgotten, and you're not alone. Until next time, patriots, this is Free America signing out.
Call Rod now, 603-835-3226. Lines are open.
Rick Scott is back in the news and back on the hit list for Democrats and liberals. You know, folks, I think we're going to have to start separating them. Now both of them are bad, but one is worse than the other. And I think what you have is you have Democrats, which are old school and they're just they really don't have any power left within the Democratic Party. Then you have the liberals, and liberal is just another name for socialist or communist. You could, well, if you wanted to call them progressive, go ahead. Same thing. Progressives are nothing but the socialists and communists of the Democratic Party. You know, just like you have in you have Republicans, and you've got the moderate Republicans, and you have the conservative Republicans. Well, Democrats have the same thing. You have the more quote unquote conservative Democrats, which they're so rare now, it's ridiculous. And you have the progressive Democrats. Well, Rick Scott has landed on the "We Hate You" list once again of the progressive Democrats. Now, in Florida, evidently, Governor Scott has brought a law down in Florida to be more in line with the Constitution. He signed a law that bolstered the Stand Your Ground law. And everybody was, after the few incidents down there with the Stand Your Ground law, you had the liberals out there trying to say, well, get rid of this law. It's, you shouldn't do this, shouldn't have it, can't have it, get rid of it. It's evil, bad, the Stand Your Ground. Instead of running away like a coward and being shot in the back by criminals, you can stand your ground, defend yourself, and if necessary, use deadly force without fear of being prosecuted. Now, what Governor Scott signed into law that amended the previous Stand Your Ground legislation or law, it makes it easier for defendants in the state to successfully claim they were protecting themselves when they commit violence. Now, previously, and this is from Reuters, previously, the law required defendants to prove that they were using force in self-defense, meaning you were guilty of not standing your ground for legal reasons, and you had to prove that you were, because you were assumed to be a criminal before you vindicate yourself. Well, now, the amended law states, well, now the prosecution has to prove that you were not standing your ground, as far as the Stand Your Ground law is concerned. So in other words, it's constitutional now. Now the onus is not on the defendant, but it is on the prosecution or the state, where it's supposed to be, because that's the way the Constitution says. You're innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt by a jury of your peers. You're not guilty until you prove your innocence to the state. But that's the way it originally was. This is why George Zimmerman went through what George Zimmerman had to go through. If this law was written the way it is now written, he most likely would not have gone through at least the court proceedings that he went through. Well, yeah, he'd still be vilified, but at least he wouldn't have had to go through the court proceedings. This is the way it's supposed to be. I think it's sad that we have to ensconce on paper that you have every human, God-given, natural, Gaia-given right to defend yourself from someone who wants to do you harm. I mean, and the biggest thing I get is you get some people who don't understand the Bible and don't understand Jesus, the reference from Jesus about turning the other cheek. Oh, well, you're not supposed to defend yourself. We're not Amish. Amish have got it wrong when it comes to that part. You can defend yourself. And I don't want to get into a sermon here, but do you realize the reason why Jesus did not defend? Jesus didn't defend himself because he was a sacrificial lamb to take on all sins. You can't be a sacrifice if you're going to defend yourself. You have to throw yourself aside because now you become the sacrifice. But as for the rest of us, none of us are going to die for somebody else's sins. Well, not biblically, technically speaking, no. So you have every biblical right to protect yourself. What's so hard to understand about that?
Have you ever thought to yourself, I'm a leftist elite Hollywood a-hole? If so, good news. The Rod Eccles Hollywood Community College is now open, featuring such courses as unemployment is not paid vacation. No, Americans don't want to spend $19 for an order of French fries, and the ever popular shut the hell up. Why, just listen to this big-time celebrity endorsement.
I'm not Rosie O'Donnell, and I think this school's offensive, sexist, and racist.
And I think you're a giant a-hole who needs to shut the hell up. Hey, we teach a course in that. The Rod Eccles Hollywood Community College, where being an a-hole is not a guarantee you'll be an A student.
Thousands of families affected by disasters, like the recent wildfires, urgently need support. You can help the American Red Cross provide warm meals, shelter, and hope to families when they need it most. Please donate today to Red Cross Disaster Relief to help people affected by disasters, big and small. Go to redcross.org or call 1-800-RED-CROSS today. Your support is critical. We can't do it without you.
I'm just so happy my father had a chance to see his kids before he passed. I just want to say thank you.
When her father fell ill, the American Red Cross was able to help get Veronica's brother home from the Navy to speak to his father one last time. It's thanks to your donations that we can connect military families when they need it most. Please donate today at redcross.org.
Were you born from 1945 to 1965? People born during these years are 5 times more likely to have hepatitis C. So even if you try to eat right, exercise, and take care of yourself, you could still have hepatitis C, a serious disease that's a leading cause of liver cancer. If you were born from 1945 to 65, you should get a blood test for hepatitis C. Treatments can cure this disease. Talk to your doctor about getting tested. A message from the CDC.
Think fast. In the short time it takes to listen to this message, a small flame can turn into a big fire. Several minutes more, and thick, poisonous smoke may have filled your lungs and reduced your ability to respond. Give it 5, and your entire home may be filled with flames.
Keep breathing. We've got you.
Don't let your world go up in smoke. Have working smoke alarms and always stay in the kitchen when cooking at high temperatures. Learn more at usfa.fema.gov, because fire is everyone's fight.
Have you mixed your pain meds, your sleep meds, your allergy meds? Call the Poison Helpline. Has your child eaten a tube of toothpaste, a chip of paint, a wild mushroom? Call the Poison Helpline. Have you been bitten by a spider, a snake, an insect? Call the Poison Helpline. Poisonings can happen at the home, on the job, or in the great outdoors. Call the Poison Helpline first for fast, free advice from medical professionals. Call 1-800-222-1222 anytime, anywhere. 1-800-222-1222. Save the number, save a life. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Premature birth is the #1 killer of babies. Those who survive often face birth defects and complications that affect them for life. For hundreds of thousands of families in the United States, this is the hardest thing they will ever have to face. And it's even harder on the baby. March of Dimes is providing education and support to families and funding life-saving research to give every baby a fighting chance. You can help. Do something today. Give them tomorrow at marchofdimes.org/tomorrow.
It's pretty amazing when you consider that 7 years ago, we didn't have the treatments we have now. We cure 80% of children with cancer. Go back 50 years, we were curing 20 to 30%. This is the miracle story of modern medicine. We understand what makes this cancer tick. And of course, without donors from around the world, this just couldn't happen. There's one thing we're focused on, and that's beating this thing.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Not on my watch, our military service members say, as they volunteer to serve. As they move out, stand firm, and take fire. So not on our watch, we say, to the severely ill or injured veterans who can't get the care they deserve to live full and independent lives, even when there's no government funding, or a nursing home seems like the only option. We won't leave one warrior behind. Not on our watch. Join us at findwwp.org.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps demonstrate their commitment to defend the American way of life. Since 1775, we have served our nation as a force in readiness.
Get some rear security.
From combat operations to humanitarian assistance in every corner of the world. No matter where the mission takes us today, or wherever our country needs us tomorrow, we always remember the land we call home. As Marines, we take a stand For each other. For our nation. For us all. The few. The proud. The Marines.
America's wounded warriors are coming home. After serving on foreign shores, these brave men and women are returning to their families and communities. Many have wounds you can see, and many have wounds you can't see, like post-traumatic stress disorder. Now that these warriors are back home, they are ready to enter the civilian workforce. To help, Wounded Warrior Project has developed the Warriors to Work program, a career counseling service that helps warriors translate their military experience to the civilian workplace. These extraordinary men and women bring proven world-class job skills and a unique perspective on teamwork to the job. And to ensure the right warrior finds the right job, Wounded Warrior Project works with employers to find just the right match. When you hire a wounded warrior, you hire an intelligent, talented, and committed new employee. Contact Wounded Warrior Project at findwwp.org. Welcome home the brave.
You want to know what time it is? It's time to bring the rain.
Zinc Media. Feel the power of knowledge.
Studio located somewhere within the great granite state of New Hampshire. It's Rod Eccles.
And welcome back. Thanks for being here. Call the number this Monday morning, Monday, June number 12th in the year of our Lord 2017 is 603-835-3226. Gotta love it. Liberals are on a tear because they think they've got something now. They've got something. Yes, they. This, according to Axios. Now, Axios is obviously a liberal ragmag in digital format. Well, it is. I mean, it's like the Washington Times, Washington Post, New York Times. Not Washington. Washington Times is more conservative. They're more like Fox News. I know people say Fox News. They're so no. Fox is not liberal. But with the, we won't get too deeply into Fox. Just understand that Fox is losing it's lost its way. In their ability to. The problem with Fox is that you have people in charge at Fox now who are scared of the liberal left. They really are. They're afraid to be who they really were supposed to be. And that's more of a conservative bent that was trying to be fair, a lot more fair and balanced than the liberal media is. And but here in Axios, there's a piece where they talk about, well, it's Trump's worst nightmare come to pass. Yes, Mueller adds muscle for the Russia investigation. And the article starts off thusly. The worst thing that happened to Donald Trump this week, Paul Rosenwig on the Lawfare blog, special counsel Robert Mueller has hired Michael Dreeben on a part-time basis to help with his investigation. Now, Dreeben, a deputy in the Office of the Solicitor General, has argued more than 100 cases before the Supreme Court. His specialty has, for the last 20 years, been criminal matters, and he has an encyclopedic knowledge of criminal law. Mueller is amassing the talent arsenal you build to bring criminal charges. They are still on this. Well, first of all, the only way you're going to bring criminal charges is if somebody's under criminal investigation. Now, we heard directly from the former FBI director that the president was never under criminal investigation. So what criminal charges are they going to think about bringing? Obstruction of justice? Well, what exactly did he do to obstruct justice? Because he said, well, I hope the matter goes away for some people. And just because you take it to mean, just because you interpret something, you can interpret something any way you want to. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter your interpretation. Well, I know some people say, well, interpretation does matter. Well, not when it comes to the real meaning behind the words. You can interpret any way you want to, but the reality is there's a truth behind what was really said. And if the president was just off the cuff, well, I hope it goes well for him. Meaning, I take it to mean, my interpretation is, well, the president was hoping that there was nothing really serious, that no crime was committed. And if there was no crime, if a crime was not committed, knowing how people's reputations are destroyed in D.C. at a whim, you say, well, basically what he's saying, if there's no crime, then don't destroy his reputation, okay? Let him go. Be easy on him. But if he did something illegal, well, go ahead, throw the book at him. But, if he didn't do anything illegal, go easy on him. Don't destroy his reputation. It's bad, taking a bad enough hit as it is. That's not obstruction of justice. That's somebody trying to show some sort of compassion for somebody who's embroiled in a liberal witch hunt. Now, look, Comey himself said that he was too much of a wimp to stand up to the president. Look, if the president tells you something, you do two things. You say, Mr. President, that may not be legal. And then you're supposed to tell your other superior, the Department of Justice, the Attorney General. He did neither of those things. He cowered and whimpered, oh, Mr. President, I'm so intimidated by you. Come on, really? This was the FBI director, folks. The FBI director is not supposed to be intimidated by anybody. But also, please remember that the FBI director works for who? The president. He doesn't work for the Attorney General. He works for the president. He doesn't just report to the Attorney General. He reports to the president. Do people understand? People just don't understand this. Everybody in the executive that is employed in the executive branch of the federal government reports to the president. Everybody. Sure, you may have this chain of command, but the president could walk into any office building and say, you're fired. To any one of them. Doesn't matter who they are, what position they hold. They all work for the president. Just like the CEO of any company could walk the CEO of Sears could walk into any Sears store, walk into the hardware department, look at a salesman and say, you're fired. Now, what normally happens is that the CEO will go to the store manager and say, get rid of that person. Because they don't want to have to do the dirty work. And that's dirty muckety muck work if you want to, if you're going to get down in the trenches and fire people, you just tell somebody else to do it. So yeah, the president will walk through an office and go to the manager or go to the department head or go to the secretary of that particular department or cabinet and say, fire them. Get rid of them. But by all rights, he can walk down any hallway in any building that's a part of the executive branch and fire anybody he damn well wants to for any reason. Now, of course, there are certain things that would be political suicide if they did, but even if Comey said, sir, I'm investigating you in a criminal matter personally, the president can say, well, then you're fired. That is not obstruction of justice. It is not by the definition of the very term. Obstruction is trying to hinder the investigation by other means. Not simply by firing somebody. Because the president, under the Constitution, has every right to fire anybody he damn well pleases in the executive branch for any reason that he wants. Everybody serves at his pleasure. There is nobody, even any special investigator or special counsel can be fired by the president. Because why? They're attached to the executive branch. They all work for him. Understand that to be clear. Now, if there was somebody under the employ of, say, Congress, well, then the president can't fire them. See the difference there? So just because Mueller has hired somebody part-time, if there was anything real behind this, if there was some criminality that Axios is, just all giddy about, why is he only part-time? I mean, that's the first thing I thought about. Well, wait a minute. Why are they even hiring somebody part-time? Well, because they're gearing up, Rod. You don't gear up part-time. You gear up full-time. What do you hire cops, to investigate a crime part-time? Well, we're just going to hire this investigator part-time to look into this matter. No. You may have part-time patrol officers, but investigators called detectives and such, they're all full-time. There's no part-time. I don't think there are any part-time people in the prosecutor's office at any level of government. Not even in the smallest of communities. Because you can't do that kind of work part-time. Look, it's all because they want their dream is to be right about everything that they say about President Trump. Their dream is to be correct. Yeah, we want to be right. Now, that's pretty sad. When you when we said that we wanted Barack Obama to fail, on the right, we understood what his agenda was. He wanted to fundamentally transform the country. We had hoped that agenda failed because we thought that failure would be better for the country. We didn't hope the man himself was going to be a complete and utter failure because that would not be good for the country. We hoped his agenda failed because that, as it turned out, was not good for the country. But these people are hoping to not only hope that Trump fails, but that he's a criminal so they can throw him in jail. It doesn't matter what happens to the country because of it. They don't give a damn. It's all about them. I've mentioned this before, and this is Axios bringing this to. Well, geez, he's bringing all these people together because these are people that are heavy hitters, and when you're bringing criminal charges and criminal matters. Well, maybe did they ever stop to think that maybe it isn't about Trump that there may be some criminal matters to come into play. Maybe Axios. Maybe it has to do with Hillary Clinton. We already know she committed a crime. Yeah, Comey said it. And these folks are so subtle too. And Comey was like, well, I couldn't bring charges against her because she had no intent. Well, that's not Comey's job. By the way, speaking of, got this here. Where is it? Feinstein, and this does not bode well for you liberal idiots out there. Even Dianne Feinstein From the Now, when I read this, I thought that this has got to be a joke, right? Nope. Feinstein is saying Congress should probe whether Lynch provided cover for Clinton. Maybe Mueller is amassing the so-called power team for criminality because of what Feinstein said should happen. Maybe Mueller has got maybe Comey's got some other stuff that Mueller has seen that doesn't bode well for the Clintons.
You're listening to The Rod Eccles Show, the coolest, most politically incorrect, conservative black man on the planet.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-595-2614 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 595-2614 to take your call now. Call 800-595-2614. That's 800-595-2614. Again, 800-595-2614.
We've all heard of male enhancement, but now there's an expert on true male enhancement in the areas that really count. In Herb Ellis's book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, you'll find answers to questions like, why doesn't she want to have sex? A quick start, quick results workout guide, plus what you can do as a side hustle to make money now. With all the great tips in this book, every man can benefit. Get the book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, on Amazon.com.
It started with a knock, but it wouldn't end there. What happens in the story next, many wouldn't understand, and most wouldn't believe. 5 + 2 = Perfection by Samuel Rosette Jr. is a must-read. The scriptures within are reminders of the ancient past, and yet intriguingly infuses with texts which stand on the edge of the stage of relevancy. Available online at Westbow Press, Amazon, Books A Million, Barnes & Noble, and SamuelRosetteJr.com.
Hi, Gordon. What you been up to?
Big things, Fred. I'm a full-time student at bartending college.
Wow. I never had time for a formal education.
Well, I decided to make time, but it's not easy. Bartending college is a 4-week course.
Gee, how far along are you?
Well, let's see. This is Tuesday, the 3rd week. Hey, I'm a junior, and I'm late for a daiquiri lecture. Why don't you join me?
Why not?
Bartending college.
You've already spent enough time on the other side of the bar to qualify for enrollment.
Bartending college.
We'll teach you everything you need to know. You'll get a starter set of bartenders' jokes like...
So I says to the guy, you can stay, but the cow's gotta go. Bartending college.
You'll learn how to roll drunks, water the liquor, and skim the cash register. And remember, as the bartender, you drink for free.
Last call.
For integrity.
Welcome back, 603-835-3226. One of the things that the left has to be careful for when they're trying to drag out this Trump gate, Russia gate crap is there are names that are being bandied about that are from the liberal side of things. Loretta Lynch, for instance. And what is happening, the more that they keep... Now, this is why liberals should want this to end as quickly as possible. But they are so blinded by rage and hatred for Trump, they cannot see that they're doing themselves in. Now, frankly, I just want this stuff to stop so we can focus on the president's agenda. But the liberals, they can't do that because They understand that if they stop going after the president, they're going to go after them. Case in point, Dianne Feinstein, when Comey dropped the bomb, Loretta Lynch told me not to think of this or probe this as an investigation, but as a matter. Well, what does that mean? It was an investigation. At least it was supposed. Are you telling me that Loretta Lynch didn't want this to be a full-blown investigation? Was she somehow getting in the way? Was she blocking? Now, Comey didn't come out and say that, other than, what she wanted to probe this as a matter rather than a full-blown investigation. And he said before the senators, well, it made me feel queasy. I guess he had agita. He doesn't have a very strong constitution, does he? But yesterday, Senator Dianne Feinstein said Congress should look into former FBI Director James Comey's revelation that former Attorney General Loretta Lynch asked him to downplay the nature of his investigation into Hillary Clinton's emails. Now, folks, the more they keep probing, the more they keep trying to go after the President Trump, the more they keep doing this kind of stuff, the more stuff is going to come to light about what Democrats may have done in the last 8 years. It is going to expose them. So do you understand why they try to keep this only focused on Trump? Do you understand why the lamestream media is trying to keep this only focused on Trump? Hey, Mueller is assembling. Now, we know these people that he's hiring, even on a part-time basis. These people are known to be pit bulls and criminal prosecution. He's putting together a team for a massive criminal prosecution. Maybe it isn't the president they're going after. After all, Comey did say that the president was never under investigation. Didn't he say that? So how could he be assembling a team to go after the president criminally if he was never under investigation? Well, there's these things that Comey said that people want to sweep under the rug. Oh, what he said about Loretta Lynch. Well, we'll just sweep that. Sweep. Nobody heard that. Yeah, we all heard it. Now, I'm speculating here as well. Nobody knows what the hell is going on except for the people who are directly involved. We can sit here and armchair quarterback all we want to, but the reality is it really doesn't matter, because whenever something happens, it's going to happen, and it really doesn't mean what we thought was going to happen. It doesn't matter. That what we thought was going to happen doesn't matter. But I'm just saying, if you're going to speculate, then you might as well speculate logically. Comey said what Loretta said. Dianne Feinstein said yesterday that we should look into it. Now, whether or not she actually meant it and they actually move forward and do it is another story. But the point is, I think even Dianne Feinstein recognizes, and she's probably telling the left out there, y'all better chill out on this stuff. Because now stuff is coming out on our that's against our side. Do we really want to probe our side? Look, there is a lot there, folks, on their side, by the way. There's a lot involving a lot of people. From the collusion to rob Bernie Sanders of the nomination, whether or not he actually was going to win it is irrelevant. The point is that we know that they actually moved and did things to make sure that he would not have won it. Were there some laws broken there? Probably. We have people now being arrested and being convicted of voter fraud in some states during the past presidential election. Is this all hand in hand? And then you have good old Billy Boy meeting with Loretta, knowing that his wife is under investigation by that very department who is headed by the woman that he met on a tarmac. Secretively, by the way. It was just fate that had a camera crew there, a reporter there. It was just fate. They weren't supposed to be there. So do you realize that this is the other thing that they're not talking about? This meeting was with Loretta Lynch to talk about the grandkids was supposed to be completely and entirely in secret, which is why they did it on a government aircraft on a empty tarmac somewhere. Nobody's bringing that up. This was supposed to be a completely secret meeting. And it blew up because somebody was there who actually did something that we don't really see much today. It's called journalism. Call Rod now, 666-603-835-3226.
The Red Cross responds to nearly 66,000 disasters every year, most of them house fires. Red Cross President and CEO Gail McGovern says you need to develop an evacuation plan and practice it, especially with your children. It takes just 2 minutes for a home to be engulfed in flames.
Practice those drills. We all think our kids know what to do. They don't. We need to teach them. We have started a large campaign where we're going into vulnerable communities and helping install smoke alarms. Already 92 lives were saved, and 4 of those lives were saved by a 5-year-old girl who remembered what we taught them during these fire drills, and she got her family out. We also have a slew of free apps that people can download onto their smartphones. It's what to do in every kind of disaster you can imagine, how to prepare and how to recover.
To help support all the Red Cross does and to make a financial donation, go to redcross.org. That's redcross.org.
I'm just so happy my father had a chance to see his kids before he passed. I just want to say thank you.
When her father fell ill, the American Red Cross was able to help get Veronica's brother home from the Navy to speak to his father one last time. It's thanks to your donations that we can connect military families when they need it most. Please donate today at redcross.org.
It's Thursday night, and you're grabbing drinks with some friends. Started off with a pitcher for the table, which quickly becomes 2. There's pool. And there's the photo booth.
All right, everybody squeeze in. Say cheese!
Followed naturally by an order of wings. And another.
Can we get some extra ranch sauce?
Then there's the ceremonial nightcap.
So what are we doing this weekend?
And lastly, it's back to the car, which, if you're buzzed, could be the most expensive night of your life. Getting pulled over for buzzed driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzzed driving, because buzzed driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps demonstrate their commitment to defend the American way of life. Since 1775, we have served our nation as a force in readiness.
Get some rear security.
From combat operations to humanitarian assistance in every corner of the world. No matter where the mission takes us today, or wherever our country needs us tomorrow, we always remember the land we call home. As Marines, we take a stand for each other, for our nation, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines.
I considered suicide so I wouldn't put my family through all the pain.
Many of our warriors are returning home from the battlefield, only to face a new war as they struggle with devastating injuries. At Wounded Warrior Project, we understand. We're there to help.
Even though you think you're broken, you're not. It's the physical and the emotional healing that Wounded Warrior Project provides.
With a gift of just $19 a month, you can join Wounded Warrior Project. You'll help provide critically needed programs and services that rebuild lives.
Beautiful. Woo! There you go, buddy.
The ongoing needs of our wounded and their families will continue for many years to come. Now is the time to show your support. Call now or go online with your gift of just $19 a month, and we'll send you this Wounded Warrior Project blanket.
It made me feel that there's people out there that care about us.
After this event, we can finally maybe start to heal as a family and move forward.
We need your help. The families are hurting.
For many of our wounded heroes, the greatest casualty is being forgotten. That's why your gift of just $19 a month is so important. Please, call or go online right now.
Oh, 835-3226. You know, I got a response from from somebody in the Flat Earth Society. I didn't know there was such a thing. Flat Earth Society, but evidently, I'm an anti-conspiracy theorist. I have no idea what the hell that's supposed to mean, actually. I'm an anti-conspiracy. So there's a conspiracy to disprove conspiracies? Okay. But no, that's not me. I'm just looking for the truth. And the facts are that these people are just, they're nut jobs. I mean, why is it then that if you have a completely flat plane, and I've asked this question before, never gotten an answer. Why is it if you have a completely flat plane that is miles and miles long, why can't you look through binoculars and see from one end to the other? Why does the far end of that flat plane go over the horizon where you can't see anymore? Because the Earth is curved, you dolt. It's not flat. Well, it's not just curved, it's round. Well, it's not a ball. What is that term that they use? Well, it's kind of a squished ball. You know, it bulges at the equator. Well, that is according to scientific terms, and it makes logical sense. It's due to its rotation, the spinning. Now, you see things when you spin something. It sort of bulges in the center because of the force is trying to force everything out from that at that particular point. So the Earth is there's a slight bulge. We're not a perfect sphere. And there's other. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. If you just want some entertainment, all kinds of stuff like Antarctica. Antarctica is not. I'm not sure which one to believe. I'm not sure. Either Antarctica is a base for an advanced alien civilization, or it is the place where God locked up all the angels that he cast down from heaven. I kid you not. There's stuff on. So I'm confused. I don't know. It can't be both. Well, maybe the aliens have shacked up with the angels, fallen angels. I guess I don't know. I haven't seen any videos on YouTube to explain that. Maybe I should put together one where the fallen angels, are shacking up with aliens. But other than that, it can't be both. But. The mysteries of well, there are people that, then of course there's the Illuminati theory too, where it's aliens or something, and John Kerry went down there to ask permission for something. I don't know what. but he was told no. And to prove their power, that when Kerry went over to New Zealand right after that, it was they had that Christchurch had that huge earthquake. In other words, Kerry brought on the earthquake in Christchurch, New Zealand, and evidently the Orthodox Church. Now, I can't remember the name his title, but he's the Pope of the Orthodox Church. Evidently, the Pope of the Orthodox Church met the Pope of the Catholic Church. The Pope of the Catholic Church gave the Pope of the Orthodox Church something. And the Pope of the Orthodox Church took that something to Antarctica. Now, there are pictures of the Pope of the Orthodox Church in Antarctica. He did go. I don't know why he went, but he went. Just like John Kerry went. I don't know why he went, but he went. Personally, I don't know. I don't know why anybody wants to go there. But in any case, it's just this stuff is entertaining. But you know what? As I have always said, when it comes to legend, myth, and lore, there's always a smidgen of truth. This stuff comes about because somewhere there was an actual event or actual people or creatures or what have you that resembled what is being talked about. There is some truth there. We also know that at one time, evidently, that there was an event that happened to the planet that shifted its pole axis a little bit, and thus Antarctica used to be at one time, didn't used to be totally frozen, but because of the planetary shift, it shifted Antarctica to its current position. And there are many theories about how it got there. It was all due to the Earth changing, the Earth being tilted, or it was due to a combination of the Earth being tilted and tectonic plate activity called the continental drift. This continental drift happened and forced it down there. So I mean, I try to keep up on this, but this stuff is just so it's like you're watching a movie sometimes. Kind of like all these people that think that they found the Ark, Noah's Ark. Evidently there is more than one quote unquote ancient boat in the mountains of Ararat. I just watched. There's another one, and they actually went inside it supposedly. The problem with it is you didn't see them go inside. All you saw, the entire video was just of them inside something. So you have no reference point whatsoever. You can, in fact, they have music playing so you can't hear people talking. So right there, it's suspect. But there are people who believe this. They're like, "Wow, is this really true? Can't believe it. They actually found they're inside the." You don't even know what the hell they're inside. There's no reference, but you don't see them from on the outside going into something. You just, all of a sudden, the video starts with them inside. And it ends with them inside. And you can't hear them talk because the music is playing over whatever they're saying. So, obviously, that's suspect. But, yeah, I mean, I do this partly as a lark, but also because look, the whole thing with the Antarctic thing was, well, why the hell did John Kerry go down there? What did he go down there for? What are they doing? Why can't we be told? Why is it that if you're a regular person, you got to get permission to go to Antarctica? Permission from whom? Nobody owns it. So what the hell is going on? You have to get special permission to go there. I can't figure that one out. I mean, it's for public safety. Well, you know what? I'm sure that the 99.9% of the world population is not going to go to Antarctica for a vacation because it's just too damn cold. I mean, you got to have special equipment in order to survive some of the temperatures down there. So it's why do you need special permission? Can you only go there if you have government issue protection? I'm just, maybe he was looking for the penguin vote. Or so, I don't know. But I mean, come on. I mean, this whole notion, the details matter, folks. This whole thing is you have these people who just want to believe one particular thing and throw out all the details. If you say one thing that illuminates a lot, well, you can't just dismiss that one thing. You know, just like in the Comey cannot say that I leaked the. Well, he didn't say I leaked it, but he basically did say I leaked this memo, and then say that Comey's not a leaker. Well, he leaked it, but he didn't leak it. He admitted he leaked it, but he didn't leak it. Oh, so then he lied about it? He lied? Well, no, he didn't lie. Well, you can't have this is the kind of stuff that you cannot have both ways, and they're trying so desperately to have it both ways. He said he leaked it, but he didn't leak it. So, but he didn't lie about it. I'm just wondering. You know, I mean, it's just. Yeah, I mean, I get the fact that most people get to the South Pole by military planes, but it isn't supposed to be a military operation, which means anybody who has the supplies can go there, should be able to go there, but they can't. I can see, you know, if there's a military operation going on, I can see where you can't go to the area where there's a military operation, but most of it's not non-military; it's just scientific. So why do you still need? I mean, let's face it, we have private stuff that people can get private transportation that people can get down there with, but yeah, it's a mystery. Who had a song about that mystery? Living in a mystery. Wasn't that one of those nasty female people? Oh, what's the singer's name? I haven't heard from her in a while, actually. There's some of her music I did like, by the way. Speaking of liking, here's something from The Guardian. People want to know what to do with all these old war bunkers. Well, it seems that in Great Britain, in Wiltshire, to be exact, the three men have figured out a way of how to utilize some of these old, outdated bunkers. Now, evidently, in Wiltshire, England, there is a bunker that was built for government officials. And acting on a tip-off, they discovered an underground site capable of producing more than 2 million pounds worth of cannabis on an annual basis. Yeah. Evidently, three men have admitted their part in running a large-scale cannabis factory from an underground nuclear bunker. The three men admitted conspiracy to produce Class B drugs and abstracting electricity. Yeah, well, it seems that there's power that still goes to this place. And these three men, well, at least three men, it's a very, very large. I can't believe it's just three guys could run this huge operation, but there you go. Evidently, so far, it's only three people. But they were illegally tapping into, in order to have the grow lights, and the grow lights take an awful lot of juice. It takes a lot of power. So they had all these grow lights set up, and they were using all this electricity to the tune of 250,000 pounds per year. That was the electric bill that they were stealing. And so somebody said, wait, we're losing an awful lot of electricity. Where is it going? And so it was going to this bunker so they could produce all of this pot. Yeah, that's right. They discovered more than 4,000 pot plants capable of producing over $2 million worth of the drug each year. And this happened. They discovered this on a midnight raid on the RGHQ Chilmark, the underground nuclear bunker, which was constructed in the 80s to house local government in the event of a nuclear attack during the height of the Cold War. So it's not exactly an old bunker. It was built in the 80s, and it had all this wonderful, more modern type of stuff built into it. And these guys found it, got the keys for it, and then decided to open a new industry, underground industry. Underground industry. Oh, boy. Yeah. Sarah McLaughlin. Yes, thank you, Dom. That was her name.
I'm not Rod Eccles, and I approve this message.
You know, a couple of weeks ago, a long-haired young person came into our bank and said to me, "I bet you won't lend me money to buy an electric guitar." Well, he was making $100 a week, and he was over 18, and I said, "I bet you I will lend you money to buy an electric guitar." And I did. So what happens? The punk gets busted for possession of dangerous drugs, and we're out $350. There's one thing about kids nowadays. You don't have to give them credit.
Universal Bank. We trust you. About as far as we can throw you.
Give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Sign him up for the Box of Bait Club and he'll never be hungry again. The Box of Bait Club is a brand new dream come true for every fisherman. Something new and different in your tackle box every month. Every month, another excuse to get outside and do what you love. Don't let this one get away. The Box of Bait Club is currently accepting a limited number of pre-orders with subscriptions starting at $39.95 per month. Find out more now. Log on to boxofbaitclub.com.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-595-2614 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 595-2614 to take your call now. Call 800-595-2614. That's 800-595-2614. Again, 800-595-2614.
We've all heard of male enhancement, but now there's an expert on true male enhancement in the areas that really count. In Herb Ellis's book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, you'll find answers to questions like, why doesn't she want to have sex? A quick start, quick results workout guide, plus what you can do as a side hustle to make money now. With all the great tips in this book, every man can benefit. Get the book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, on Amazon.com.
It started with a knock, but it wouldn't end there. What happens in the story next, many wouldn't understand, and most wouldn't believe. 5 + 2 = Perfection by Samuel Rosette Jr. is a must-read. The scriptures within are reminders of the ancient past, and yet intriguingly infuses with texts which stand on the edge of the stage of relevancy. Available online at Westbow Press, Amazon, Books A Million, Barnes & Noble, and SamuelRosetteJr.com.
Warning. Listening to the Rod Eccles Show by the Idiot Left may cause outrage, fear, a need for safety pins and or spaces. If you experience any of these symptoms or are allergic to truth, tune in and learn something.
So what you have is some people, this is in, it's in England, that have decided to be rather industrious, entrepreneurial, and take over an old government bunker. Now it makes you wonder how many bunkers around the world are enterprising criminals taking over and one way or another, using it for nefarious means. Now, you know that this is not the only place, folks. Come on. There have got to be tons of other bunkers that have been abandoned. But I know some of them have been made into homes. Is there a guy? There's a guy I think there's a developer in Montana. Is it Montana? That was taking some of the abandoned bunkers and turning them into homes, and it's like a whole community of them. Well, your neighbor's like a mile away, but still, it's just interesting. Would you live in a bunker? I'm not. Well, yeah, I'd be very safe, I'm sure. Unless I absolutely had to go underground for something, I guess you could say it's a form of claustrophobia. Because my fear is that your only egress gets blocked. How do you get out? You're literally buried alive at that particular point. So how do you get out? Can you dig it? Well, I guess it depends on how deep it is, but can you dig your way out from underneath? Where's all the dirt going? I've often wondered about it. I mean, people are so adamant, and then you look at some of these bunkers that people build, and they don't hide anything. So you have, you got to get air down there. You got to filter stuff. You got to, okay, so you can have water and stuff already down there, but you still got to filter the air, and you got to get air down there. What if somebody cuts off your air circulation from that very visible vent on the surface? People make no attempt to hide those things. I mean, so somebody cuts it off. You're going to suffocate down there. Again, details matter. You could try to hide them, but most people don't hide it. I never understood that. So, one way to get people to, if you want to get into the bunker, how do you get people to open up the door to get into so you can get into the bunker if you're outside the bunker? Cut off their air supply. They're going to be forced to either die or come up, right? So, am I overthinking it? I must be overthinking it. I tend to do that. I apologize for overthinking, folks. I just don't want you guys to not know every possible angle. Speaking of angles and being underground, did you hear this? This should be touted. Well, it's not going to be touted, but it should be touted from the mountaintops, from sea to shining sea. Pennsylvania, Dateline, PA. First new coal mine opens up in Pennsylvania. That's right. President Trump lauded the opening of the nation's first new coal mine in recent memory. Corsa Coal Company will operate the mine in Somerset County, Pennsylvania, just outside of Pittsburgh, PA. Corsa CEO George Dethlefsen, Dethlefsen, that's a mouthful, said the mine will be a boon to the struggling local economy. And, of course, he praised President Trump's easing of regulations and encouragement of fossil fuel exploration. Now, Dethlefsen told Leland Vittert, Vittert, that for the 70 positions available in the mine, 400 people applied. Now, these are high-paying jobs, by the way. Now, this is from Fox News Insider. Where is this from the regular rest of the lamestream media? Where are they in this? This is huge news. 70 high-paying coal jobs have just been opened up because a coal mine has been opened up due to deregulation.
The following program is recommended for mature individuals and may contain material unsuitable for morons, cretins, and dishwipes. If you are a moron or a member of the PTL Club, please turn off your radio, because we don't need any more stupid, narrow-minded, pencil-neck geeks who wouldn't know the First Amendment if it came up and bit them on the butt. Thank you.
When I found out I had atrial fibrillation, a serious but highly treatable heart condition, First thing I thought of was, who would take care of my wife and children if anything were to happen to me? My doctor recommended Prevactin. I had a lot of questions, so I did some research. It turns out Prevactin is the #1 recommended drug for Crohn's disease. I think my doctor's trying to kill me and steal my wife.
Doctors. They'll stop at nothing to get your wife.
The Red Cross responds to nearly 66,000 disasters every year, most of them house fires. Red Cross President and CEO Gail McGovern says you need to develop an evacuation plan and practice it, especially with your children. It takes just 2 minutes for a home to be engulfed in flames.
Practice those drills. We all think our kids know what to do. They don't. We need to teach them. We have started a large campaign where we're going into vulnerable communities and helping install smoke alarms. Already 92 lives were saved, and 4 of those lives were saved by a 5-year-old girl who remembered what we taught them during these fire drills, and she got her family out. We also have a slew of free apps that people can download onto their smartphones. It's what to do in every kind of disaster you can imagine, how to prepare and how to recover.
To help support all the Red Cross does and to make a financial donation, go to redcross.org. That's redcross.org.
See that cute little dog in the pet store window? Chances are it came from a puppy mill. A breeding facility that forces caged, neglected, and often sick dogs to churn out puppy after puppy to be sold for profit. Meanwhile, millions of wonderful, healthy pets end up in animal shelters. This leads to the killing of more than 9,000 by the end of today. But with one simple choice, you can help. Just by deciding to adopt instead of purchase your next pet. Animal shelters are full of amazing pets looking for a home. When you adopt your new best friend, not only are you saving a life, you're taking a stand against puppy mills. When your friends see the smart choice and impact you've made, they adopt their next pet and share with 5 of their friends, who share with 5 more. Before long, thousands get involved. Pet stores stop selling dogs from puppy mills, and even more lives are saved. And with your help, we can save them all. Visit bestfriends.org/puppymills to learn more.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps demonstrate their commitment to defend the American way of life. Since 1775, we have served our nation as a force in readiness.
Get some rear security.
From combat operations to humanitarian assistance in every corner of the world. No matter where the mission takes us today or wherever our country needs us tomorrow, we always remember the land we call home. As Marines, we take a stand for each other, for our nation, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines.
The human voice. It can be sweet as music, powerful as thunder,
And so, my fellow Americans,
cheerful as laughter. But for millions of people, it can also be a sign of COPD. This serious lung disease can make it so hard to breathe, you often can't catch a breath or finish a sentence, let alone carry a tune. And many who have COPD don't even know it. That's where your voice comes in. If you think you or a loved one have symptoms, talk with a healthcare provider. Early diagnosis can mean better treatments and quality of life. Join us in raising our voices for the millions with COPD who can't. Learn more, breathe better at NIH.gov.
As a mother, you don't want to have to worry about this bill is coming, but then she needs this chemo. That's a decision you shouldn't have to make.
It's a huge burden lifted financially, and so it allows you to give singular focus to your child. I've never known a hospital that takes care of their patients so thoroughly.
That was the first thing I was like, how are we going to do this? When they told us that we didn't have to pay a single bill, I was like, wow. they pretty much have saved us.
It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders, and now your focus is supporting this child.
There is not another hospital like St. Jude. The patient care is unmatchable. It saved my life. It saved my daughter's life. It saved our family.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind. Ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. We leave no warrior behind. Wounded Warrior Project is a non-profit organization created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war. Whether those scars are physical or mental, we're here to make sure that they heal. And whether it's helping those with post-traumatic stress disorder live a normal life again, or giving much-needed support to injured warriors in veterans' hospitals. Because no one deserves our help more than the men and women who risk their lives to keep us safe. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind. Ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
You want to know what time it is? It's time to bring the rain.
Zinc Media. Feel the power of knowledge.
Studio located somewhere within the great granite state of New Hampshire is Rod Eccles.
Yes, indeed. Hour number 3 right here on the Rod Eccles Show. Welcome aboard. Welcome back to all you liberty lovers and ecclesiastites all across the globe. Call-in number this morning is 603-835-3226 as we get on into the third hour of the program, fastest 3 hours in Internet Talk Radio, which is right here on the Rod Eccles Show. Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi says that the revelations about Comey's revelations about Loretta Lynch is not such a big deal. No, well, you know, your counterpart in the Senate there, Dianne Feinstein, who's almost a big a nut job as you are, says, well, maybe we should look into that because it could be a big deal. I know it's you can't if you get a headache trying to figure out liberals, folks. Now this is Dr. Rod coming at you here. If you get a headache because of what liberals say and do, it is understandable, and it is a headache that is not going to be relieved by a simple aspirin or acetaminophen or ibuprofen. I know, because you're going to take a whole bottle of them, and that's not good for you, so don't do that. What you have to remember to do is just remember truth and logic. When they start to give you a headache, understand that these people are completely devoid of any truth or logic within them. They don't have any. You know, it's their truth. Well, my truth is, no, it's not your truth and my truth. It's just the truth. Plain and simple. But understand that they're going by their truth. So their entire life is based on a lie. Their entire life is a lie. And you must understand that when you get this tinge of pain in your head, in your cerebral cortex area, it is due to the very fact that you have not yet been tainted by them. That you still have logic, you still have truth, you still have black and white in your head. And that is what is being harmed. Now, you need to immediately, once you start feeling that, immediately go away, because it is liberal rays trying to penetrate your brain. They're actually spewing these invisible radio waves at you to try to get you to change. And you're feeling that. That is why you're getting a headache. So there is no, now you can't, there's nothing for you to do except to get away from them. Stop talking to them for a while. Just go away, relax, rest your mind, and think of something else, because they will drive you. It's meant to drive you insane. That's what it's all about. They're trying to control your mind and make you insane, and that is what you are feeling. So you just need to go away. Just disconnect for a while from them. If you're on trying to talk to them online, disconnect. Look, I do it all the time. There are times when I'm debating. Well, it's not even really a debate, but you're debating a liberal. I'm debating a liberal, and all of a sudden my head starts to hurt. Literally, I'm not kidding. So that at that point I realize, this is futile. I need to. The fun is because I love tweaking them. That's fun, but when my brain starts hurting, then that means the fun is over, and I need to disconnect from them for a while. They got to be. Maybe they have found something down there in Antarctica, and liberals have it. They have a mind probing device, and it's trying to get inside your head to scramble your brains and make you crazy and insane like them. And because we're too logical, we feel it. So that is the time that you have to break away from them for a while and just go do something with more sane individuals. Because these people are crazy. That's the only way I can explain it. It's just utter insane. You have to be completely insane if you are a gay person walking in a gay parade holding an "I hate Donald Trump" sign while your partner is carrying a sign that's all about diversity and acceptance. You must be a crazy person if you are a gay man and you say that you're in full support of Islam and Muslims, and that anybody who's like Trump, who wants to ban Muslims, is bad, 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 bad. You got to be out of your mind. You got to be insane. No questions about it. So when you realize that these people are insane, you're able to approach them and interact with them on a different level. Because if you try to interact with them on your sane, logical level, they're going to drive you insane. I'm just putting that out there. Look, you've got one Democrat, liberal, whack nut job, wackadoodle liberal saying, well, maybe we need to look into what Loretta Lynch did or said. And you got another nut job, wackadoodle saying out there what Comey said about Loretta Lynch. That's no big deal. But it's a big deal what Trump said to Comey. Well, I hope, this goes away. Well, that's a big deal. Loretta Lynch meeting on the tarmac in secret with the husband of a person who is being investigated for potential criminal activity. Telling the guy doing the investigation, this isn't an investigation, it's just a matter that you're going to clear up. That's not a big deal. In whose crazy world is that not a big deal? Just saying, folks. You got to understand that these people, they're insane. Whatever clinically insane is, I would venture to guess that many of these people on the left are clinically insane, which is why we have so many psychiatrists and psychologists and psychoanalysts, why there are so many psychoanalytical drugs out there. These people most of them probably should be on something. I'm not kidding. These people are just that inane and insane. It's amazing. So they've got these these devices that they have gotten from inside the pyramid that is located under thousands of feet of ice in Antarctica, because that is where an ancient alien base is located that has the prisons filled with fallen angels from heaven. That's my only explanation, folks. And I'm going to stick with it. As crazy as it sounds, hey, I'm sticking with that explanation. That is why the Pope of the Orthodox Church went down to Antarctica, because he wanted to take a tour of the prison that is there, to ensure that they could not escape. Because he had to report back to the Catholic Pope, who then would report to God that everything is A-OK down in, and it was an inspection. It was an inspection. Just saying. Now, I probably shouldn't say stuff like that, because some wackadoodle is going to probably take me out of context and get on YouTube and say, "See, Rod even agrees with me." Don't doubt this is... Look, I have been on the air long enough to hear myself being taken out of... there are people who actually listened to this program and taken bits and played it on their programs. And I know this because I've heard some of it. I remember back in when I was on Blog Talk Radio, somebody actually thought they could get away with taking an excerpt off of my show and then playing it on their show. I happened to be listening at the time he was playing it, and his explanation behind what I said was so far off. I had to call him and set him straight on his own damn show. I can call that a spanking if you want. But I did. I spanked him on the air. So I know people are going to take some of this stuff that I say out of context, which will probably be very funny. So if you ever hear of anybody taking something I say out of context, please let me know, because I want to hear it. I want a good laugh too. Please, don't be stingy. Don't keep it to yourself. Let me hear. If it's just really way out in left field, then I may have to straighten them out. But otherwise, I like to laugh too. I like to hear what these people have to say and how they're interpreting what I say. Because I think I'm pretty damn clear. It's not really up for interpretation, but they can come up with some pretty some pretty imaginative ways of interpreting. Here it is right here. This is from Breitbart has got the story about the wonderful L.A. Gay Pride March, which actually turned into the L.A. Resist March. And the headline is L.A. Gay Pride turn hashtag Resist March feels the hate for Trump. And and there are other pictures out there on the web. But the annual Gay Pride March in Los Angeles was officially renamed the Resist March, with a message devoted to attacking President Donald Trump, the Republican Party, and conservatives in general. They have a giant poster of the turd or the poo emoji with a Donald Trump face. Yes, thousands of demonstrators gathered in Hollywood on an overcast Sunday morning, waving rainbow flags, pink, white, and pastel blue trans flag. Tranny's got a flag now? Evidently, yeah, they're pink, white, and pastel blue. That's the transgender flag. And anti-Trump signs, many of them profane. Now these gay pride, they've always touted these gay pride events and gay pride as family friendly. And as a matter, if you see a lot of these parades, what you'll see is a lot of alternative families. Two mommies, two daddies, whatever. Marching down the street or in the on the sidelines with their children. And so these children are here seeing this. The other signs read, destroy Trump ass, Mike penis. So now they're jumping on Mike Pence. Well, because I think some of them have finally realized, well, if we get rid of Trump, we're going to end up with a President Pence, and he's so damn squeaky clean at the moment. I mean, here's a guy who won't even, be around other women unless his wife is there, out of respect for his own wife. You want to talk? I know he was a governor, so he's a little bit of a politico now because he's been entrenched in a little bit of muck from a swamp in a state capital. But other than that, this guy's pretty squeaky clean. Mike Pence is about as clean as they come, man. They have nothing on Pence other than he's Trump's VP. That's it. And there is no indication. Well, Trump would probably, or Pence would probably do things in a more political fashion because Trump is not a politician, where Pence is. So, but he'd keep a good portion of Trump's agenda because, one, he sees it's working. Two, he knows it's what the American people who voted for them want. He would keep much of it. He'd just do it in a more political fashion, but he'd still do it. So now they got to go after Pence, but there's nothing on him. Nobody's got anything. I mean, you ask anybody, what you got on Pence? Nothing. What you got on Pence? Oh, he went to breakfast one day without his wife with another woman in public. That's it. That's about it. And they got nothing on Pence. But you can't tell them that. They'll still try to. They'll just connect him with Donald Trump. That's going to be he was Trump's VP, so, he's just as guilty as Trump is.
Yes, love hurts. It can hurt emotionally, but more important, it can also hurt you physically. It can hurt you in a way which nobody who owns a hot tub and lives in California can afford to be unaware of. Yes, I'm talking about California hot tub rectal gonorrhea. This painful, incurable disease can make an enjoyable soak in a hot tub with family, friends, and dog into a literally unforgettable experience. If you catch California hot tub rectal gonorrhea, not only will you walk around feeling like you're about to pass a twisted sardine can lid, you'll also smell like a pile of burning tractor tires. So don't jump out of the frying pan and into the hot tub, because if you get California hot tub rectal gonorrhea, it'll really burn your ass.
This has been a public service message brought to you by the Citizens Against CHTRG Foundation. California hot tub rectal gonorrhea. We're not going to take it sitting down.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-595-2614 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 595-2614 to take your call now. Call 800-595-2614. That's 800-595-2614. Again, 800-595-2614.
It started with a knock, but it wouldn't end there. What happens in the story next, many wouldn't understand, and most wouldn't believe. 5 + 2 = Perfection by Samuel Rosette Jr. is a must-read. The scriptures within are reminders of the ancient past, and yet intriguingly infuses with texts which stand on the edge of the stage of relevancy. Available online at Westbow Press, Amazon, Books A Million, Barnes & Noble, and SamuelRosetteJr.com.
We've all heard of male enhancement, but now there's an expert on true male enhancement in the areas that really count. In Herb Ellis's book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, you'll find answers to questions like, why doesn't she want to have sex? A quick start, quick results workout guide, plus what you can do as a side hustle to make money now. With all the great tips in this book, every man can benefit. Get the book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, on Amazon.com.
Now, there was a bright spot out there in L.A. During the Gay Pride Parade. Well, turned March, I suppose. There was a lone Trump supporter in the crowd. Well, he wasn't the only. I'm sure he wasn't the only Trump supporter, but there was a lone Trump supporter spotted in the crowd holding a sign with a biblical reference to the creation of the rainbow. He had a sign with painted in the rainbow colors, and below it was written Genesis 9:12 through 13. And because, the rainbow is supposed to explain, I've gotten so many explanations about why the gay community has embraced the rainbow. From, the colors are pretty, to it means inclusion. Well, no, that's not what the rainbow means. If you're going back to the biblical verse of why it was a covenant that he wouldn't destroy. Well, see, God isn't going to destroy gays now. Okay, so there's one guy out there who's trying to impart some sanity to these people of hate, but that's what they are. Which is really kind of ironic because they're out there supposedly fighting against hate towards them, and all they're doing is spewing hate. Look, you're gonna receive what you give. Plain and simple. These guys are just spewing nothing but illogical, irrational hatred. Most of them don't even know why they hate Trump. They just know that they hate him. Because if you were to ask them directly, either they couldn't give you a specific reason, or they'll name some stupid soundbite that has been proven wrong over and over again already. That's the sad thing about it. The good thing about it, however, is there is something happening in Virginia that is shocking some people on the left. There's a shock poll. Pro-Trump Corey Stewart has taken the lead in the Virginia governor's race in the GOP primary. On Sunday, polling from Change Research placed outsider Republican candidate for Virginia Governor Corey Stewart ahead of the establishment rivals Ed Gillespie and Frank Wagner among likely voters in Tuesday's GOP primary, which is coming up tomorrow, I guess. I don't live in Virginia, so I don't keep track of state politics in Virginia, but you guys are having a primary because your governor going to be going to the polls this November, I do believe, for your governor. And lo and behold, because everybody's supposed to be, everybody's jumping off the Trump train, right, supposedly? Well, no, not really. When you have all these wonderful liberals who are running around out there talking about, we're gonna win, we're gonna beat this person because everybody's turning against Trump now. There's nobody is turning against Trump. Nobody. Those people who supported Trump in the beginning still support him now. You hear some of these stories say, I voted for Trump, but now I'm sorry I did. Why? Why are you sorry you did? You can't give a legit explanation. Every time I've heard a so-called Trump supporter renege on Trump and say, I used to support him, but now I don't, and they give an explanation, I say, well, that is a typical left-wing soundbite. He's not doing anything he said, that he promised. Well, if you want tax cuts, well, Trump can't give you tax cuts. It has to come from Congress. They're the ones standing in his way. So what is the real reason? You don't have a real reason other than these stupid sound bites because you were never really a true Trump supporter. You're just saying it to get, to make it sound like it. This is, look, they find these people who lie and say, yeah, I supported Trump. Just because you voted Trump doesn't mean you support him. Look, there were a lot of moderate Republicans that voted for Obama. But in the end, they didn't really support him, but they were stupid enough to vote for him. So I guess you could say, turnabout is fair play. So there are a number of people who were stupid enough to vote for Trump, but they don't support him, which doesn't make any sense. Really none of it makes any sense, but these people aren't supposed to make any sense, right? Because they're insane.
The Red Cross responds to nearly 66,000 disasters every year, most of them house fires. Red Cross President and CEO Gail McGovern says you need to develop an evacuation plan and practice it, especially with your children. It takes just 2 minutes for a home to be engulfed in flames.
Practice those drills. We all think our kids know what to do. They don't. We need to teach them. We have started a large campaign where we're going into vulnerable communities and helping install smoke alarms. Already 92 lives were saved, and 4 of those lives were saved by a 5-year-old girl who remembered what we taught them during these fire drills, and she got her family out. We also have a slew of free apps that people can download onto their smartphones. It's what to do in every kind of disaster you can imagine, how to prepare and how to recover.
To help support all the Red Cross does and to make a financial donation, go to redcross.org. That's redcross.org.
I'm just so happy my father had a chance to see his kids before he passed. I just want to say thank you.
When her father fell ill, the American Red Cross was able to help get Veronica's brother home from the Navy to speak to his father one last time. It's thanks to your donations that we can connect military families when they need it most. Please donate today at redcross.org.
It's Thursday night, and you're grabbing drinks with some friends. Started off with a pitcher for the table, which quickly becomes 2. There's pool. And there's the photo booth.
All right, everybody squeeze in. Say cheese!
Followed naturally by an order of wings. And another.
Can we get some extra ranch sauce?
Then there's the ceremonial nightcap.
So what are we doing this weekend?
And lastly, it's back to the car, which, if you're buzzed, could be the most expensive night of your life. Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps demonstrate their commitment to defend the American way of life. Since 1775, we have served our nation as a force in readiness.
Get some rear security.
From combat operations to humanitarian assistance in every corner of the world. No matter where the mission takes us today, or wherever our country needs us tomorrow, we always remember the land we call home. As Marines, we take a stand for each other, for our nation, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines.
I considered suicide so I wouldn't put my family through all the pain.
Many of our warriors are returning home from the battlefield, only to face a new war as they struggle with devastating injuries. At Wounded Warrior Project, we understand. We're there to help.
Even though you think you're broken, you're not. It's the physical and the emotional healing that Wounded Warrior Project provides.
With a gift of just $19 a month, you can join Wounded Warrior Project. You'll help provide critically needed programs and services that rebuild lives.
Beautiful. There you go, buddy.
The ongoing needs of our wounded and their families will continue for many years to come. Now is the time to show your support. Call now or go online with your gift of just $19 a month, and we'll send you this Wounded Warrior Project blanket.
It made me feel that there's people out there that care about us.
After this event, we can finally maybe start to heal as a family and move forward.
We need your help. The families are hurting.
For many of our wounded heroes, the greatest casualty is being forgotten. That's why your gift of just $19 a month is so important. Please, call or go online right now.
This is Free America broadcasting on the Rod Eccles Show with a message to all patriots trapped behind the lines in California, New York, Boston, and Chicago. Don't give up, true lovers of America. Even as we speak, moves are being made to drive the invaders back to the land from which they came. Defeat the would-be dictators and lift the chains of tyranny from around your neck. Stay strong. Stay brave. You're not forgotten, and you're not alone. Until next time, patriots, this is Free America signing out.
Bring the rain.
And welcome back. Right now, we are going to get into something that that is a new feature here on the Rod Eccles Show. Well, we've done it before, but it's a new feature called Monday's Money Moment. So if you have questions about money, well, I am here to help you. And why do I think I have the ability to help you understand money matters? Well, because I have held financial licenses in the areas of health, life, property and casualty insurance, and Series 6 and 63, meaning I was capable of trading stocks. And those are kind of brutal testing and studying that you got to go through. One of the things that people are doing today that you might want to think about, because the old misnomer, there's a lot of conventional wisdom, and there's a reason why it's conventional wisdom, because it's very profitable for some people other than the person who's following that advice. One of the bits of advice is to go ahead and invest pre-tax dollars for your retirement, because the theory is that when you hit retirement, your taxes will be lower. Well, as we've been finding out over the past 3 decades, that has not been the case. And often, seniors, when they were younger, they were in a lower tax bracket. And then they get older as they go through life, and they save for their retirement. And they get to their retirement, and they start taking out their retirement funds, and they're realizing that they're getting slapped with higher taxes today than they had back when they were younger. But there are some people who are taking a different tack on this, and not putting their money away into traditional investment items like stocks and bonds, where the government can see, what you're earning, but they're doing something a little bit more covert. Still legal, but a little bit covert. It gives you more control. People are buying actual physical investments. Now, what are investments? Now, I know a lot of people are thinking, well, that stuff that you buy at Walmart, those collectibles. There's a difference between investments and collectibles. Don't get them confused, because if you're buying collectibles and thinking that you're going to sell those off for your retirement, you're going to be very sorry. Don't do that. Now, what are investments? It could be furniture pieces, like a stick-leaf piece of furniture, which is most likely going to go up in value in the future. It could be said, to some extent, some comic books. And you got to know exactly what you're doing when you're getting into this stuff. When you get into investments like this, hard physical investments, you have to understand what you're doing, or else you can burn yourself. And another thing is what people are investing in is they're investing in precious metals, not certificates. In other words, gold certificates. Don't buy those. Buy the actual gold coins, not the stuff that you get from the Franklin Mint, but real gold coins, real silver coins, real gold bars, real silver bars, platinum bars, those types of things. Because in reality, if you store them, keep them, and store them, they can go up in value. They most likely will. You can sell them when you need to. They are, whether, if you listen to some people, they'll say, well, they're not very, this kind of stuff is not very liquid. In this day and age, those types of assets are extremely liquid. If you bought a Stickley sideboard, a dining room sideboard, for instance, it can be extremely liquid today. Now, you're not going to be able to get the cash like an ATM, but if you're planning everything right, you'd have the cash within a month because you'd sell it within a month. There are places that you can go that'll put this thing online all over the world. You'll have buyers coming out of the woodwork that you didn't even know existed to buy this stuff from you. Alternative retirement savings. Do your research. Understand what you're getting into. Fully understand the difference between collectibles and investments. There is a huge difference. You can even see that there is a difference within a particular category. I mentioned comic books. Now, in comic books, there are collectibles and there are investments. And you've got to know which is which. Because collectibles most likely will not increase in value significantly, where investments will over time. And therefore, you get to avoid some of those wonderful taxes that the government likes to impose on you, where a lot of these wonderful investment people tell you that you're going to pay less in taxes when you get older and you turn 65 or 68, which we've seen in the past few decades. That's not necessarily the case. Not to mention, a lot of people's financial investments like stocks and stuff have not gone up significantly, and they've put a squeeze on retirees. So have some flexibility. Include in your retirement plan real and solid, tangible investments. When you go to retire, you will thank me for it. I guarantee you. Now, this issue with McCain. McCain is back in the news. God, not about his terrible discombobulated appearance during the Comey question and answer period, during the Comey testimony. McCain actually says, and this is according to The Hill, that American leadership was better under Obama. I kid you not. This is the additional Trump derangement syndrome here in John McCain. Senator John McCain said American leadership was stronger under President Trump's predecessor, according to a Guardian report published yesterday on Sunday. Asked if the country stood on sturdier ground under former President Obama's leadership, McCain said yes. As far as American leadership is concerned, yes, said McCain, though he vocally criticized many of Obama administration's foreign policy decisions. I do not know where this guy could possibly understand or think that we were on stronger footing under Obama. How? But I can, and this is my problem, I cannot logically see where McCain is coming from. I cannot logically figure out what this guy is thinking when it comes to this. Yeah, well, Obama was a stronger foreign leader than Trump. How is that possible? Everywhere Obama went, we capitulated and retreated. Is that what you were going to do as well? Mr. McCain, were you going to capitulate too, just like Obama, and give in to just about everybody? Really? And here's a guy who trounced you, by the way, in 2008. I just, the man. Well, I'm telling you, it's just age. Well, there are other issues with McCain too, going all the way back to when he first got elected, and his pardon, evidently. So you got the man is not he's not all there in the head anymore, and he's got this ridiculous. It's not a globalist view because he wanted to bomb the hell out of Iraq and Afghanistan, but I don't. He's lost it. He's a nut job. He's a total and complete nut job. In Arizona, you guys got to stop electing this guy. I mean, now he's there for another 6 years. My God, he's there for another 6 years. I mean, I know he's your senator. He's not mine. And there's nothing I can do about it. But I'm here to tell you, you're damaging the country by keeping this guy in office. He's an old dinosaur fossil. Here's a story from the Daily News, the New York Daily News. Delta Airlines and Bank of America drop sponsorship of Shakespeare in the Park. Yes, why did they do that? And because it's one of those things that when you read it and you see it, it starts to make your brain hurt. Because of everything that the liberals have said in the past. And what they have, but then you got to go back and remember what they did to George W. Bush. But Delta and Bank of America dropping their sponsorship of Shakespeare in the Park over Julius Caesar's stunt that shows Trump assassination. Remember when there was a couple of movies that were produced back when George W. Bush was president depicting the then President Bush being assassinated? I know. And then what? Then 8 years, we were devoid of that for 8 years. And if anybody even thought of having any type of production about the assassination of Obama, they would come down on you like a ton of bricks. Would they not? Did they not? You know, you'd be racist, bigoted, homophobic, anti-humanitarian, all kinds of stuff that they would have said that you were simply because you depicted Obama in a film or stage production being assassinated. They'd be looking to try to put you in jail. Hey, remember the guy who they said caused the Benghazi incident with his video, the video that only like 10 people saw? Yeah. Well, they put him in jail. But here's the story. Delta Airlines and Bank of America pulled out of their sponsorship of New York's Public Theater yesterday over a production of Julius Caesar that reimagines the main character as President Trump. Shortly after Delta, who was a 4-year sponsor, made its announcement, Bank of America yanked its support as well. The Shakespeare in the Park play tells the story of the leader assassinated by Roman senators over the fear that he's becoming too tyrannical. But rather than the original setting, the production stages Caesar, played by Greg Henry, and his wife, played by Tina Benko, with Donald and Melania, Trump lookalikes. Now, Henry, who's already played a Trump stand-in on Scandal last year, models his Caesar almost perfectly after the man in the Oval Office. He meets his end after being stabbed to death by women and minorities on stage. Women and minorities. Unbelievable. Can you imagine if they did this with Obama? And by the way, the Melania lookalike, that looks nothing like Melania. Nowhere near as classy and gorgeous. But anyway, well, Melania is a model, or she was a model, so it's kind of hard to... But in any case, just beyond me how they can get away with this kind of stuff. Beyond me. By the way, for all the liberals out there who kept saying that Melania was never going to move into the White House, well, the report is that over the weekend, Melania and Barron have moved into the White House. So they are now officially residing within the great walls of the venerated building known as the White House. Well, guess she just proved some people wrong again, didn't she?
What if I told you that you could lose weight simply by drinking coffee? Change your coffee, change your life. Our gourmet estate-grown coffee is infused with powerful herbs that help you melt fat and keep you from feeling hungry for 6+ hours. Get results or your money back. Order yours today at skinnycoffeeshop.com. That's skinnycoffeeshop.com. Tea and water also available. skinnycoffeeshop.com.
Have a legal problem and need some serious legal advice? Then you're listening to the wrong podcast.
Any facts we say here are probably wrong, and any analysis of the law should not be followed.
There you go. Reasonable men are here to take a twisted look at the law.
Stack your hayride.
Learn in hand. Best name in law school.
Check us out on iTunes, reasonablemen.com, or on your favorite podcast app.
Reasonable men are back.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 800-595-2614 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 595-2614 to take your call now. Call 800-595-2614. That's 800-595-2614. Again, 800-595-2614.
We've all heard of male enhancement, but now there's an expert on true male enhancement in the areas that really count. In Herb Ellis's book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, you'll find answers to questions like, why doesn't she want to have sex? A quick start, quick results workout guide, plus what you can do as a side hustle to make money now. With all the great tips in this book, every man can benefit. Get the book, Husband 2.0, Real Male Enhancement, on Amazon.com.
It started with a knock, but it wouldn't end there. What happens in the story next, many wouldn't understand, and most wouldn't believe. 5 + 2 = Perfection by Samuel Rosette Jr. is a must-read. The scriptures within are reminders of the ancient past, and yet intriguingly infuses with texts which stand on the edge of the stage of relevancy. Available online at Westbow Press, Amazon, Books A Million, Barnes & Noble, and SamuelRosetteJr.com.
Drop the beat! Oh! I expect somebody to start coming in and rapping on that one really fast. You know, like Eminem, but with a deeper voice, not Slim Shady. Associated Press is reporting that an Israeli court has ruled that a journalist is to pay for Netanyahu damages for libel. An Israeli court on Sunday ordered a journalist to pay more than $25,000 in damages to Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu for his wife Sarah for and his wife Sarah for libeling them. The magistrate court in Tel Aviv ruled that Igal, I-G-A-L, Sarna, libeled the couple for writing a Facebook post that claimed the prime minister's wife kicked the Israeli leader out of their car during a fight. Now, Sarna writes for the Yediot Aronot, a major Israeli newspaper that is often critical of Netanyahu. So, in other words, a leftist newspaper in Israel. And this reporter has lost his case for libel and is ordered to pay more than $25,000. You know, maybe people should do. Well, did Melania go after somebody? She's gone after a few people and sued a few people for libel. Good. To libel somebody is not news, folks. It's not. If you knowingly lie about somebody, I mean, it'd be like, well, I know Donald Trump, beheaded some people. And you printed that as fact and news, and you knew for a fact that, and I knew for a fact that that was a lie. Well, that's libelous. That's not free speech. That's not what you get to say. Sorry, you don't get to denigrate somebody when it's not true. But I don't know. So I guess some people on the left just don't understand the difference between freedom of speech and lying. They think that you're free to lie. Well, yeah, but you're not free from the consequences of those lies. And you don't get to ruin somebody else's reputation simply because you don't like them, just because you want them to be ruined. Doesn't work that way. But of course, you can't forget. You can't convince these leftists that when you do something like that against to libel a conservative is fair. That's fair. You should be able to do that. But to libel a Democrat or a liberal, progressive, no, they're not progressive. How many times have I said they're regressive? You don't get to libel a regressive. Then you should not only be fined, not only should you be sued, but you should be fined and you should be jailed if you lie about a regressive in any shape, manner, or form. And speaking of libeling somebody via Facebook, finally we have a story here today that a man was sentenced to death for a blasphemous Facebook post. Yes, Pakistani man faces execution for insulting the Prophet Muhammad online. Pakistani counterterrorism court sentenced Taimur Raza, 30, to be executed. Is the first time a death sentence has been handed down for online blasphemy. Insulting God, Islam, or other religious personalities can be punishable by death in Islam. Raza is accused of spreading hate by playing material on his phone at a bus stop. Playing material on his phone at a bus stop. The counterterrorism court has sentenced Taimur Raza, 30, to be executed after finding him guilty of committing blasphemy online. Blasphemy is a highly sensitive topic in Muslim-majority Pakistan, where insulting the Prophet Muhammad is a capital crime for which dozens are sitting on death row now. Under Pakistan's harsh laws, anyone accused of insulting God or Islam or other religious personalities shall be put to death if found guilty. Talk about intolerant. Really? That's really intolerant. I can't believe people are that intolerant. Well, time is intolerant of me as we've come to the end of another busy broadcast morning, but we'll be back here tomorrow, so don't miss out in 21 hours. See you then. Have a wonderful Monday afternoon. Thanks for tuning in. I'm out.
Damn, it feels good to be a Clinton. Damn, it feels good to be a Clinton. A shameless politician always plays her cards right. Got a crew for the fight on the airwaves. Lapdogs in the press keep their mouths tight. Cause a Clinton never needs to explain what, why it is what they done or with who. A real Clinton knows that they're entitled, and you don't get to know what they do.
What difference does it make?
For a Clinton, what's loaded in some fat Oppo file? A Clinton plays the victim for promotion. A Clinton kills it off with a smile. Damn, it feels good to be a Clinton. A server full of secrets ain't no thing. Damn, it feels good to be a Clinton. Nothing ever hits with the sting.